Hello, Villa fans and everyone who's downloaded this. Maybe you have a couple of Man United fans wanted to get a little bit of an insight into how we're thinking coming up to the game. So hello to you guys as well. It's been a little while since I've done any kind of recording. My youngest son, who's about 19 months, unfortunately, has come down in sympathy with the Villa midfield. He has injured himself, unfortunately, and has a cast on and just lots of logistical nightmares, can't take him, put him into childcare, and it's just a bit of a disaster. So I haven't been in a position to film my beautiful self or put my thoughts down. So just after watching a bit of rugby, just pop into the store. So I thought, hang on, I do have a few thoughts about the upcoming Manchester United versus Aston Villa clash. Villa obviously boosted by a win during the week against Lille, away to Lille. A lovely 1-0 away win. Although I say we're boosted and the confidence should be better now. I was watching the match on a station called Premier Sports 1, and it's kind of an Irish version of a kind of you have TNT in the UK, but anyway, so it's kind of the Irish version of that. And the problem was, in the studio you had a former Aston Villa player, Stilian Petrov, and former Ireland captain and Birmingham City player Kenny Cunningham. And Kenny Cunningham was quite resolute that, I think he said, because of that performance, Aston Villa get a big fat 0 when it comes to growing in confidence. A word to that effect. And Petrov was trying to put out, they've been through a tough month and I think this will do well. And Kenny's point of view was like, no. Good results come from performances. That wasn't a good performance, and that's it. No, that was awful for me. No confidence gain there. So, Mr. Cunningham, I don't actually agree with you, simply because we've had a whole month without a win. It was over a month since that 1-0 win against Brighton. And even though, yes, I'll agree that the performance wasn't the most fantastic one, you're going to a game away from home in France. Two things might have been in the back of Villa's mind. One, the previous night, absolutely no English Premier League team had won. The majority of them lost. Two, Villa had gone to Lille before and had won on a penalty shootout, but lost over the 90 minutes. Lost 2-1 and over the 120 minutes. So that would still be in their brain. Obviously, Olivier Giroud has this brilliant record against Villa, so he was probably fired up, and because it was the first leg, you would have Lille completely fired up for it, knowing this is their chance to get a foothold in the tie if they can get a lead. So for Villa to nullify them, to really limit them, to really just a couple of chances, I thought that was actually very good. So even though it wasn't this swashbuckling performance, we limited Lille. Lille offered very little going forward. Very, very little. Now, I know this has been a little bit of a problem for this Lille side. That being said, the European night can often, produce something different. And there was that one chance with Giroud's header in the first half, which commentators, when I was watching, seemed to think, he should have got more on, and Villa very, very lucky there. They seem to forget that there was the presence of Ezri Konsa right beside him, putting him off. Being physical, but not too physical. And then in the second half, there was a save that Martinez made. Now, it wasn't in your highlights packages because the flag went up, and after the save was made, it was flagged for offside and it was a free out. I think that might have been a bit of an error, and had it gone in, been flagged offside, VAR would have allowed the goal, because Giroud was offside in the build-up, but the ball didn't come to him for a couple of passes later. So, put it like this, if I was a Villa fan and that was a goal and ruled out, I'd be furious, or I'd be expecting VAR to allow it, though that doesn't always happen with Villa. We haven't been best friends with VAR. So, but look, we limited Lille to those couple of chances. Where Martinez needed to make a smart save and Konsa just about did enough to put Giroud off. That was it. They offered nothing. And in the second half, the more they pressed, which is something we should think about in the second leg, the more gaps they left. And then we exploited it with a bit more direct long ball, which we haven't seen much of under Emery, but it suited. And I just wonder, they'll have to come forward at Villa Park, so they will leave themselves exposed a bit. So I'd be fairly optimistic now. I think we're in a very good position going into that second leg. So I think it's a boost. It's a win over 90 minutes. We're not through, but it just suggests that, if we keep our discipline and keep our structure, we can nullify another team. Now, let's take this into Manchester United tomorrow. Obviously, they're in very good form. I am informed by Man United fans that they are not playing too well. They're getting over the line, but it's more kind of just, it's more just that kind of habit or a little bit of luck that Michael Carrick seems to be getting. They're not totally convinced. And do you know who isn't totally convinced? And I just wonder, a little interview that was published today by everyone's favourite Monaco tax resident, Jim Radcliffe. He said, Michael Carrick, doing a fantastic job, but didn't say anything about wanting to hire him permanently. So I just wonder, will that be a little bit of a factor in Carrick's mind, or the player's mind, that they might be thinking, hey, this guy's doing good and we've got the respect, and Carrick's thinking, yeah, I'm really making an impression. Today Radcliffe has this interview out saying, yeah, doing great, probably not going to have him as the full-time manager. No. So I just wonder, the night before the game, could that just unsettle Carrick, upset him a little bit? I'd be a bit upset if I was doing a brilliant job and my boss suddenly said, yeah, he's doing better than we even thought, but we're not going to keep him on. God, he's not good enough to stay here, despite how well he's doing. So maybe, just maybe, there might be something to play for here. Now, I'm not suggesting we're going to go and win the game. I'd be delighted if we could get a draw. But look, we've had this very structured, disciplined away performance in Lille, and I think we need to take that to Old Trafford tomorrow. If we do that and stay focused, and maybe we might need a bit of luck, because luck hasn't been going our way recently, especially when it comes to games at Man United. If we have that little bit of luck, I think we can get something out of the game tomorrow. So look, I'm not going to make a prediction because we know who the overwhelming favourites are based on absolutely every metric you'd look at, recent form, history at Old Trafford. But I think if we show the grit and determination we showed on Thursday, then we might have a chance. So fingers crossed, we'll get something and then we can take that momentum and a little bit more confidence, Kenny Cunningham, into the game on Thursday at Villa Park against Lille. This Thursday to Sunday might just suit us. It might just suit us. It kind of started our run, first of all, at the start of the season, and it might just spark a bit of form now just when we need it. Super John McGinn back. Hopefully he'll start the game, and then we're counting in the days now to Yuri Tielemans, and at least that's something to look forward to, and hope that we can get into a bit of form for the run-in, because we're still there as we go into the weekend. We're still in fourth, and so long as we're still there and still battling, we have a chance that we can get Champions League through their league position. So we still shouldn't forget that we're in a really good position. So that's it. Fingers crossed we'll get something out of the game tomorrow. Up the Villa.